Hi guys, welcome to 2026. If you're anything like me, then you probably love watching self-improvement videos and maybe you haven't really actually gotten around to doing anything yet. That's okay because I have compiled 10 easy, actionable items that you can do to make sure that 2026 is your best year yet. Number one, we're gonna put a screen time limit. When I reduced my screen time, I suddenly had so much free time that I didn't even know what to do with myself. I also felt like all of my memories and my life started to feel so much more vivid and colorful. So let's set a screen time limit together. It is super simple. All you're going to do is go to the settings app of your phone, and then you're gonna scroll down to screen time. Comment down below what your average screen time is. I'm honestly ashamed by mine. Click add limit, and you can select the specific apps that you want limited. For me, I click under the social tab and I'm gonna choose Instagram and TikTok. Now, the amount of time you wanna limit yourself to obviously depends on what you do. I use social media for work, so I give myself 2 hours a day. I feel like that's what's reasonable. And that is it, super simple. Now, if you're wondering what actually happens when you hit this limit, you will get this screen and you'll have 3 options. To 1, close the app like you're supposed to. 2, get an additional 15 minutes. And 3, ignore the limit for the day. I do get this pop-up a lot more often than I'd like to admit, but it is a very good reminder. You okay, Lily? Sorry, my cat's playing around in the background. Other than just the screen time limit, the other thing I really like is a focused D&D specific to you. So I have one called Work. When you customize your own D&D, it's super easy. You put a name, you pick a color, and then you're going to customize your focus. You can choose specific people that you will allow messages from. So my husband, Kevin, who's a surgical resident, he has one called On Call that he uses while he's asleep, but every single person in his residency program and all of his attendings are on the notification list where if they were to message him while he's on call, he would still get those notifications. For me, when I'm working, I have my entire management team, everybody who I work with, my family, and my best friends, oh, and my husband. You can also customize a specific lock screen. For me, I have this beach wallpaper, which means that it is time to work. My work focus is scheduled every single day from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., so I don't even have to think about it. Number 2, you are going to implement the 2-day rule for any habits that you want to stick. It's simple. Never skip the same habit 2 days in a row. I honestly feel embarrassed to admit this, but Kevin and I have been paying for our gym membership for over a year. And that entire first year, we maybe went 20 times total. That means we spent a lot of money every single time we went to the gym. In November, I decided that I need to make a change. One day I woke up and for the first time in my life, I started to go to the gym consistently. So much so that I've never missed 2 days in a row. A lot of the times we don't reach the goals that we set for ourselves because we give ourselves too much flexibility, too much slack. I am very strict about it. I can skip 1 day, but I cannot skip 2 in a row. There's a famous quote by James Clear that goes, "We do not rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems." Instead of asking yourself, do I want to go to the gym? Tell yourself, I am going to the gym. Remove the choice out of it because when you give yourself the choice, you will always take the easy way out. Now, the 2-day rule can be applied to almost every other area of your life, whether it's cooking, eating at home, journaling. You pick the habits that you want to stick and implement the rule. Number 3, pre-fill your calendar. This is one of those things that's gonna take less than 30 minutes that will make you feel like you are on top of it. You know that feeling when you get a birthday text from somebody who you would have never expected to remember your birthday, and it really brightens your day because you think to yourself, wow, this person is so thoughtful. I can't believe they remembered. And whether we like it or not, interpersonal relationships are the biggest indicator of our own happiness, our own fulfillment. Maybe you want to get promoted, then it's really important for you to manage those relationships with the people that you work with. Be the person who remembers. 3 things that you need to add to your calendar. Number 1, birthdays. This includes family, extended family, your friends, bosses, business partners. Put in a calendar reminder so that you remember to send flowers, a card, or at least a text message. Now, if you're asking yourself, wait, I don't actually know these people's birthdays, one of my friends recently did this and it is so smart. Send out a Google form and just say, hey, it's 2026. I'd love to update my address book with your info. Ask them their name, their birthday, their address. Maybe you're sending out Christmas cards. You can also ask them for the names of any pets that they have, and boom, you will have all of the information in one place. Number 2, you're gonna fill it out with big events. This includes things like weddings, graduations, maybe you're running a marathon, maybe your grandma's turning 60 years old. All of the big events in your life, put them in your calendar now, and if you need to travel for it, go ahead and go to Google Flights and set up a flight alert so that you can book the best possible price. I used to be really good about booking flights when they are cheap and affordable, but as I've gotten older and my schedule becomes more unpredictable, I've often had to buy a lot of flights last minute because of poor planning. Set up your Google Flight Alert so that you don't do that to yourself. And finally, appointments. Have you ever tried to get a dentist appointment when everybody else is also trying to get one in December? It is a hot mess. If you're in the US and you have a dental insurance plan, you are entitled to 2 cleanings every year. Make sure you use them because you are paying for them. I set my dental appointments the year prior, so I have one in June and December every single year. Book it now, even if you have to reschedule it. It is way easier to reschedule something than to book a new appointment. Number 4, and this might be my favorite one, make a lucky list. I started making a lucky list a couple of years ago. You know, life is hard. There's a lot of things that go wrong every day and challenges that we have to deal with, and it's really easy to focus on the negative things. And we often need to be reminded that there is a lot of good and great things that happen to us. Open your notes app right now and title it 2026 Lucky List. Now, every time something good happens, you are going to write it down. It doesn't matter how small it is or how big it is. If you feel like you should write it down, write it down. I'm gonna give you some examples that I have recently. November 18, went to the gym by myself for the first time and completed a full workout routine. That probably sounds weird, but I had a fear of going to the gym without Kevin because I just did not feel confident in using the gym equipment and everything. And November 18th was the first day that I did that, and now I'd say probably 70% of the times I go without him. November 19th, I got 2 offers for brands that I really wanted to work with. On November 26th, Kevin worked his last ever Thanksgiving shift in residency, and on November 27th, I got 50% off a robe that I've been eyeing for a while. No thing is too small to write down. I'll even write down like, hey, ran into my neighbor, got to chat with her. And anytime you need to pick me up, I love pulling up this list. I'm also very forgetful, and sometimes I just don't remember what happened in my life, but having my lucky list, I can very easily see an overview of all the fun things that have happened. If you ever share your lucky list on social media, please tag me. I would love to see it. Number 5, you're gonna set things on autopilot. The more hands-off you can be, the more time you allow to do things that you actually want to be doing. There are many things that don't really require our day-to-day attention that you can set off on its own. First off, we have the retirement contribution. Now, the 2026 maximum is $24,500. If you divide that by 12, it gives you $2,042. So that's how much you should be contributing if you want to max out your retirement in 2026. Go into Vanguard, go into Fidelity right now so that you don't have to think about it. Bills, water, sewage, garbage, gas, Wi-Fi. Set all of those things on autopilot. Usually at the start of every year, I also like to call my internet provider or chat with them online because they have new promotions. And specifically with internet, I'm almost always able to negotiate a better rate than what I'm paying monthly. Next up, for animals, cat food, dog food, medications, treats, and toys. Our family uses Chewy for our animals, and I have all their food perfectly calculated so that it arrives on my doorstep before it runs out. Lucky is also on a medication, that is also looped in there. And photo backups. How many photos are in your camera roll right now? Sadly, I have 47,000, and this is already with regular backing up. I used to manually back up everything from my phone to a hard drive, and it was deeply painful and time consuming. Now I pay for a Google Photos subscription, and it backs up every single evening on its own, and I don't have to think about it. Number 6, we're going to review our subscriptions and our credit cards. I want you to open up your credit card bill and look through all the things that you are paying for on a recurring basis. Netflix, Crunchyroll, Amazon Prime, Peacock. I'm willing to bet money that there are things in there that you don't even use that you are paying for. You can also use a program like Rocket Money where it automatically will pull up all of your subscriptions as long as you input your accounts. It's free to sign up and look at the subscriptions, but it costs money if you want them to cancel it for you, but I think you can do that on your own. No need to pay for it. My rule with subscriptions is that if I'm not 100% sure, then cancel it. If you ever need it for some reason, you can always resubscribe, but start by canceling it and see where you land. Now let's talk credit cards. Do you ever question if your credit card is actually worth the annual fee that you're paying? I'm gonna show you how you can do the math. Let's take the Amex Gold card, for example, which I like to use because it gives me 4x points on food and groceries. The annual fee is $325. However, I get $220 in dining credit, which I use, so I'm gonna subtract $220 from $325, which means that I'm still paying $105 for this annual fee. To keep keep things really simple, we will assume that 1 point is worth 1 cent. Now, obviously, every credit card point is worth a little bit different, and then depending on how you're using the point and how you're transferring it, this can vary, but we're gonna keep it simple. So to make a 4x card worth it at $105, we're gonna take 105 and divide it by 0.04, because you're getting 4% back on those purchases. That gives us $2,625, which is how much I need to spend on food and groceries to get back the 105. That's probably a lot more than you thought. You can quickly do the math for all of your credit cards, or if you're lazy, just make ChatGPT do the math and figure out which credit cards you need to cancel, if any. Now, if you've already paid the annual fee, the smart thing to do is, of course, keep the card until it's about to renew, but go to your account right now and figure out when it's going to renew and put a calendar reminder so that you don't forget to cancel it. I personally have my credit card stack pretty optimized now, but let me know if you want a full video and I can definitely do that in the future. Number 7, we are going to do a digital declutter. We often remember to clean our physical space, but what about the digital space where we spend the majority of our time? I'm gonna be honest with you, my downloads folder has 9,031 things in there. I dare you to tell me in the comments how many things are in your downloads folder, but here's a couple things to remember to clean out. 1, of course, the downloads folder. 2, your desktop, icons, folders, clean up those old screenshots, documents, and square away the files where they need to go. Now, if you're using an Apple computer and you are not using stacks, I highly recommend it. All you have to do is go to View and click Use Stacks. This will automatically sort and clean up your desktop for you. All the screenshots go in one place, pictures, documents, etc. Next up, your email inbox. There are 2 types of people in this world, inbox 0 and inbox 3,742 million. I'm the first, Kevin is the second. If you have so many unread mail, how do you even know what's important and what's not? The ideal scenario is to, of course, go through and sort through it, but let's be realistic, most of us don't have that much time. At a minimum, go to your search bar, type in label, unread. This will pull up all of your unread messages, click select all, and mark as read. That way you can start fresh. You're also going to unsubscribe from email lists that you no longer want to receive mail from. On the Gmail slider bar, you will see what's called manage subscriptions. Click that and you will see a list of all of the promotional emails that you receive, as well as how often they email you. Go ahead and unsubscribe from all the ones that you don't want to receive anymore. Not only will it clean up your inbox, but you might also save money from shopping less. And finally, we have a social media detox and declutter. Start of the year is a great time to go through your following list, and if there's anybody who doesn't make you feel confident about yourself, doesn't make you feel good or happy, I think no hard feelings, go ahead and unfollow them. I think about my social media and the people I follow like a room full of people. Would I want them in my digital room when I open it up? Number 8, goal setting, but keep it simple. I'm gonna teach you how to set your goals so that you'll actually achieve them. In the past, I've definitely made the mistake of overcomplicating and making a fancy notion, journaling, bullet journaling, all these things, only for it all not to be effective. I have figured out the most foolproof way to make sure my goals stick, and it's really simple. If I told you something would give you a 42% higher chance of winning the lottery, would you do it? Well, your dreams and your goals are your real life lottery, and science shows that writing it down makes it 42% more likely to happen. You're going to open up a Google Sheet, and there's going to be 2 different types of goals, qualitative and quantitative. Quantitative is easier to understand, so let's start there. This is anything that's related to a number. How much income do you want to make? How much do you want to contribute to your retirement? How much do you want saved up for your house? Anything related to a number will go in this column. It can also be the number of shifts that you want to pick up, the number of overtime, a sales goal that you have. All of that will go in your quantitative. Now, as a creator in the quantitative column, I have all of my growth goals. So how many new followers I'd like to gain on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And now let's move on to qualitative goals, which are my personal favorite. A lot of the times we focus a lot on the numbers, but the things that actually count and really matter are the qualitative goals. So I'd like to share with you the list that I had for the previous year. And again, keep this list 10 goals and under. Don't make it too complicated. For 2025, I hit 9 out of 10 of my goals, which I feel like is pretty good. I think that's a record. The only thing I didn't get to do was go to an F1 race, which just wasn't in the cards for me last year. But looking at the rest of this list, I'm honestly impressed with myself. Your qualitative goals can be anything like take my parents on an all expenses paid for trip, or it can be master making a matcha at home so that I don't have to go to the cafe. It can be as simple or as elaborate and big as you'd like it to be, but figure out what those things that bring a lot of meaning to your life are and put them on the list. And the reason I like to use Google Sheets is because it's always there, it's free, and it's accessible. I have this data backdated all the way until 2020, and it's really easy for me to see year over year what I've done, what I've achieved, and which areas I need to work on. Number 9, automate your investments. The smartest thing that you can do is let your money make money for you. When your money is sitting in a traditional bank account, you are losing value every year, whereas the stock market on average returns 7 to 10% every year. Now, I'm what's called a lazy investor. I am not looking at the stock market every single day, knowing everything about it. I truly believe that time in the market beats timing the market, and so the best way for me to invest is to buy and hold. Every single week on the same day, I buy the same amount of an index fund. If you're not familiar with index funds, rather than picking individual stocks, which can be more risky, you also need to know a lot more, I like to buy index funds, which are like a basket of stocks. There are index funds that track the S&P 500, which are the 500 top performing companies in the US. And instead of betting on one company, you're buying the whole basket. And I'm gonna give you an example to show you why it's so important to start investing right now, even if you don't have a lot to invest in. 2 people, person A and person B, they're going to invest the same amount. Person A is going to invest $100 every single month from 25 to 35, and then they're going to stop investing. Person B is going to invest the same $100 a month, but from 35 to 45, and then stop investing. Let's assume that the market returns about 8% every year. When they retire at 65, person A will have $168,000, whereas person B will only have $73,000. It is the same amount of money being put in, one just earlier than the other, and the difference is $95,000. That's the power of compound interest. So the earlier you can start investing, even if it's smaller amounts, really matters. Now, how do you automate those investments? What platform is the best? There are so many different things that you can use. I'm gonna share the 2 that I use with you. Almost all of my retirement accounts are through Vanguard, and they have an automatic investment system where you can buy mutual funds and ETFs. So I personally have a recurring automatic investment in VOO every single Tuesday. The other platform that I use is Robinhood. I really like Robinhood because it is user-friendly, you can check it on your phone very readily, and same thing, every Tuesday I buy the same amount of VOO. When you're picking which index fund you want to purchase, consider looking at the expense ratio, which is basically the amount of fees that you have to pay to purchase the fund. And finally, number 10, figure out your POV and start being decisive. I used to be a very indecisive person. Should I pick this or pick that? Do I want white? Do I want blue? What if I pick something and it ends up being not the right choice? I had such a hard time choosing, and as I get older, I feel like I know a lot more about myself and how to make decisions that reflect me. So I'm going to teach you how to figure out your POV and who you are. A lot of the times we know the people that we love really well, but we actually don't know ourselves. So I like to do an exercise that I call life mapping. You're going to write your name in a circle in the middle, and then you're going to draw little branches that come out of all of the different things that make you who you are. This could be animals that you have, children that you have, hobbies. Maybe you like to golf, maybe you like to ski, languages that you speak, things that make you you. And also draw a little circle for what's called aesthetic. What kind of style do you like? What kind of makeup do you prefer? Instead of chasing all of these trends, because consumerism, of course, we're always going to be encouraged to try this, try that. As soon as this becomes popular, then the next thing pops up. Figure out what you like, not what everybody else likes, what you like. I know for myself, I don't like a particularly heavy makeup look. I prefer a lighter, cleaner look. And what's your style? I want to be stylish, but not at the cost of comfort. And when you start to identify all those things about yourself, it makes it really easy to make big decisions. For example, when I look at a cluttered closet, I'm trying to decide which pieces to keep. I know that I need to be comfortable. Therefore, that wool sweater that is super itchy but super cute needs to be donated because that doesn't align with who I am as a person. And if you still have a hard time making a decision, think about the most ideal version of yourself, your dream self. What would that person say to this choice? How would they choose? Usually you have the answer, you just don't know it yet. I'm so excited for 2026. I love to read the predictions, the zodiac, superstitions, but I'm the kind of person where if it's good, I believe all of it, and if it's bad, I do not manifest that. Thank you for sticking around watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please let me know what other videos you want to see this month and maybe for the rest of the year. Don't forget you're a 10 out of 10. Don't let anyone else ever make you feel otherwise, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!